To the brothers, Shalom Yahweh Shema Thun by Shem Yahweh Shai to the sisters. Where the ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And since 1969, we teach you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that you are the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. Understand, Preaching Officer Shabal holding down the Thursday Scripture Breakdown class. Coming to y'all live from Las Vegas. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we have classes from 7 to 9 p.m. You understand? Tuesday is the Brotherhood class. Wednesday is the Biblical Law class. And Thursday is the Scripture Breakdown class. If anybody in the Las Vegas area, you understand, looking for the class, looking for counsel, you can find us on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas. You can find us on YouTube, ISUPK Nevada. You understand? Any questions, any comments, you're in need of counsel, don't hesitate. All right, if you're in the Vegas area, man, this is what you should be looking for. The home of the truth. You know what I'm saying? You're only gonna find this truth in ISUPK. You understand? The only way you're gonna learn how to clean your life up, you understand, is by getting into this body, man, and start coming to class. You know what I'm saying? That's how you shed yourself for the world. You know what I'm saying? You do not shed yourself for the world leaning on your own understanding. You know what I mean? You'll never be able to shed yourself in the world if you turn your back on your people. You know what I mean? So if everybody could, if y'all can like and share the class before we get started. Again, you can find us on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas. You understand? You can find us on YouTube, ISUPK Nevada. You know what I'm saying? If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. If anyone in the class has any questions, raise your hand, Lord allow. I'll be able to get to those questions. You know what I'm saying? We will answer all questions biblically. If I do not have the answer, I will write the question down, and I'll have it for you by, Lord allow, by the next class, all right? In here, we do not lean on our own understanding. We do not philosophize in here. We don't make up stuff. You know what I mean? We don't manipulate the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? To buffer our point or to try to make ourselves sound like smarter than we are. You get my point? We go to the men above us. You know what I'm saying? And we get the answers. That's how we do in here. You understand? So. We all need, you know what I'm saying, everybody in here, you know what I'm saying, has questions at some point and be needing those breakdowns, you know what I'm saying? So I gave everybody a couple minutes to share the class, like and share the class, let everybody know we live. Check and see if we have any questions. If we don't, I'm gonna finish the topic from last week, which was the topic that we went over last week is raise your child or raise your children or the world will, you understand? And then what goes hand in hand with that is, you know what I'm saying, the spirit of arrogance or arrogancy or being arrogant, whatever, however you want to word it. The point of the matter is, you know what I'm saying, that spirit of arrogance is not of the Most High. You get my point? If you're walking around with that pride, if you're full of pride and you're full of arrogance, you know what I'm saying, that is not the spirit of the Most High. You know what I mean? That is the spirit of the oppressor. You get what I'm saying? That's why they walk around with their head in the air, you know what I'm saying, thumbing their nose down at everybody else because they think they're so much better than everybody else. Right. You understand? But what they don't understand is there's gonna come a time sooner than later. You understand, where they're gonna be put in a rightful place, which is beneath us. Right. You understand? They never should have been above us in the first place, but because of our own stubbornness and our own arrogance, right. You understand, we went against the scriptures, and us going against the scriptures is why we're in the condition that we're in today. You know what I mean? So, a couple more seconds, and we're gonna get started. All right, because one of the scriptures I want to cover, because we were reading in the Apocrypha last week, and I want to say we ended the class on 14, but I think I want to go up a couple verses to make a point. So let me see, was it 14? 14. Actually, yeah, we stopped at 14. We're gonna start at Ecclesiastes 41:8, and then we'll drop down to 14. You understand? And there's a reason why, you know what I mean, we going back there again, all right? So let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 41, verse 8, and we're gonna start there. I don't see any questions in the chat. I don't see any questions online, in the chat or in the class. Come on with it.
So, like, I did actually have a question. in the book of Job, when all of those things had transpired on Job, with getting the boils, and, losing everything and whatnot, what was the time frame that all of that had transpired from the very beginning to the end of Job getting everything back?
The best thing to do, because I never read a scripture that went into the time period, so the best thing to do would be to go into the Zondervans and let's look in the Zondervans to see if it has it in there. You get my point? The time that he was going through that, meaning like, because if you go into the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, you know what I'm saying, and you look up Job, it'll give you who Job is. Any of y'all got Zondervans on y'all?
There's one.
Here, I got one right here. Let me check it out. Let me see something. Pretty much, especially in the pictorial. The pictorial has even more, because obviously it's a pictorial, so it's gonna have more details and it's gonna have pictures and stuff like that. But the compact, you know what I mean, it'll give you a short breakdown on each individual that's in this book. You get my point? So let me look in here real quick. Give me a second. Let me see what it says about Job. Joab, Job. Chief character of the book of Job, one of the wisdom books of. This is the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary, page 286, reading on Job. It says, chief character of the book of Job, one of the wisdom books of the Old Testament, and great literary masterpiece, written in form of poetry. Author unknown and date unknown, but many scholars favor Solomonic age. Deals with justice of God in his dealings with human beings. Outline, okay. First debate. The book of Job identified the way of the covenant with the way of wisdom, and so brings philosophy under the authority of divine revelation. No comprehensive answer is given to the problem of suffering, since the Odyssey is not the book's major theme. Nevertheless, considerable light is afforded in addition to the prologue's contribution. Just trying to see if it covers a timeline. Okay, so the Zondervans does not. It gives you a description of Job, the chapter, and the brother himself, but it doesn't cover a timeline as to how long these things took place. Because even when you go to the beginning of the chapter, when Satan is talking to the Most High, you understand it doesn't. When the Most High has this council, it doesn't say when the council took place. You know what I mean? So what I'll do is I'll write that down. Matter of fact, just send it to me, and then Lord willing by next week, because I'd rather answer it in class. You know what I'm saying? But if I get the answer before next week's class, I'll just go ahead and shoot it to you, but then I'll share it with the class next Thursday. Because I personally don't remember reading anywhere in there where it says this all started around this time and then it ended at this time. You know what I mean? And so because we don't philosophize, because we don't, because we really don't do literal time frames. You know how Israel is. Oh, that was about 5 years ago.
Not yet.
You get what I'm saying? Or, he's about 22, 23. Something like that. He a young nigga, you know what I mean? And a young nigga could be, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty much anything. You get my point? So I don't want to say it if the Bible don't say it, but I'll definitely look into that for you. All right. That's actually a good question. I'm glad you asked it. All right. So, did you have another one?
Yeah.
Come on with it.
So I wanted just like a further clarification on whenever we had any type of dealings with angels. So like, anytime that we encountered an angel, that was pretty much all in a dream. And where I'm going with that is like, for instance, when Jacob had wrestled that angel to get his blessing. And I know John Muhammad had, he kind of went over that and broke that down, and he said that was a dream. But like, for the angel to get out of whatever hole Jacob put him into, he busted his hip to get him to let go. But like, I need more clarification on that, because like it's a dream. Why should my hip pain affect me in a dream if my will is overcoming even your angelic strength?
Okay, so because at the end of the day he's an angel, First is what I would say. Firstly, and secondly, you ain't never woke up from a bad dream in cold sweats.
Kind. So if I may, so did Jacob wake up right after he got busted in his heel?
If that's not what it say, I'm not gonna teach that. You know what I mean? It doesn't say it. So if I were to answer that, I'd be philosophizing. You know what I mean? So with that as well, you know what I'm saying? I'll get some more clarity on that because I don't like speaking on nothing that's not written. You get my point? So it doesn't say that when he woke up, he was, you know what I'm saying? He woke up around this time and this happened or this happened. You get what I'm saying? So let me look into that for clarity.
But it does say that Jacob saw a vision, and during that vision, he had wrestled with angels.
Right.
I don't remember the exact verse and whatnot. I didn't read it for myself.
Let's pull it real quick.
Yeah, kind of okay. Genesis 32:22.
Let me see. Let's go with Jacob and Esau. 32. Let's go up. Let me see. We start around second and third. Following droves in this manner. Nope. Okay, so it starts at verse 24.
Right.
So I'm just gonna skim over real quick. Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled that man with him until. Okay, so according to the scripture, it says, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh. So in other words, him and the angel was battling. You know what I'm saying? But Jacob was getting the best of the angel. So the angel like, okay, well, I know how to end this fight. I'm gonna break his hip. You know what I'm saying? And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go. This is Genesis chapter 32, verse 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with the Most High and with men, and hast prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. And as he passed over Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrank. Okay, which is his cartilage.
Which is his cartilage?
Cartilage. The sinew.
Uh-huh.
That's what that is. Okay. Where it said, therefore the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrank. That's what it's talking about, right? So now, when you read up, and it says the sun rose upon him. So this was the next day.
Right.
But it doesn't say it was a week, 2 weeks, a month. It doesn't say any of those things. You get what I'm saying? It says, let's go. Where did the angel say it? In 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh.
Right, because in 24, it says, and Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. So that itself lets you know, he was fighting with somebody, basically all night until the sun came up.
Right.
But it doesn't say that he was actually asleep though, and that's where I'm confused.
Okay, so because the breakdown that General Muhammad gave was this was a dream. Just like when he brought, I think that was either last week or the week before. You know what I'm saying? How when you're in a dream, like you don't lose in those dreams. You know what I'm saying? This is a dream that Jacob had. This wasn't a literal fight with an angel, like meaning like in the physical realm. This was in his dream that he had this fight, or wrestle, whatever word you want to use.
Okay. So what you're saying is Jacob didn't really tussle with an angel then?
I mean, shit, in a dream, shit, do you not think you doing the shit that you doing, whatever it is you dreaming about?
I mean, yeah, but
so it happened not in the physical, but it happened in the spiritual, because that's how his name was changed, and that's why we're known as Israel to this day. So there was some significance to it. Okay. You get my point? So it might not have happened like right here in this physical realm.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Just like you've had visions of yourself going to camp and doing things like that, and I ain't actually did it yet. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's along those same lines. Shalimar?
I was gonna say, like, couldn't you say it's basically like a test, trying to make sure that his will was unbreakable? Like in his head, he think that he actually battling the angel, but you know, it's almost like if you in your dream, you cowering away in your dream, like you a coward at your core. Like, can you basically break it down like that? Like the angel basically came to him. The angel was sent to wrestle him and fight him in his dream, but to him it was real. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But he did like that to see, like, all right, let's see how far he really willing to go. You know what I'm saying? That he basically was like, I'm not gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? Is that he basically broke his hip and woke him up like, all right, like you know what I'm saying? You worried me, because if you was really faced with this type of torment, you're gonna keep going. Like,
right.
Couldn't you?
Yeah, the whole takeaway of it is the strength and the courage of Jacob, which is why to this day we are who we are and how we are the way we are. Think about all the things that we've been through over the years, throughout all the years of oppression and all the police murders and so on and so forth, but yet we still here. You know what I'm saying? We still fighting and surviving and navigating through this hell. Shalimar?
I got a question on verse 30,
uh-huh.
where it says, "For I have seen God face to face." Could you use this as a precept to show that when it's referring to God, the word God actually translates to power?
Yes.
Because he was talking about an angel.
Yes. Because no one has ever seen the Most High face to face.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
So just with that practical knowledge, you know that he's not talking about the Most High. You see what I'm saying? All right.
Sorry.
You had something else?
Oh no.
Okay. The best thing to do is, because I don't want to mess up what General Muhammad said. The best thing to do would be to go back to that class and listen to it, because I actually want to go back and listen to it again myself, just to make sure that I completely understand what was said. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna pretty much what you know what I'm saying. What he laid down, that's that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take that to the bank. You know what I mean? So I'll go back and, you know what I'm saying, double check for myself. But I do just clearly remember him saying that was a dream that Jacob had. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm on about.
So I had a dream when Dante was in the military,
Uh-huh.
and we are fighting in this dream.
Uh-huh.
There is this whirlwind in the dream.
Mm-hmm.
So we won in the dream.
Uh-huh.
But when I had awakened,
uh-huh.
then it's like I heard, if you had lost in that dream, your son would have died for real. But I won in the dream.
Okay.
The man shot Dante in his head.
Okay.
And when Dante fell over on the ground,
okay,
I went over to him and I put my hand under his head in the dream, and I said, "We don't do this. We don't die."
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I was saying Jesus as opposed to Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, because of Jesus, we don't do this kind of thing. And the bullet fell out of Dante's head and landed in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And Dante got up.
Mm-hmm.
And then this whirlwind came and it was tearing up everything around me and Dante, but we were just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
So once the dream was over and I woke up,
mm-hmm.
then, it was like, if you had lost in that dream, your son would have died for real in the natural realm. Dante was over in the war in Iran. So I'm asking, is that like what Jacob, what this is saying, like about Jacob? Because he was wrestling while he was wrestling in the spiritual realm, but when he woke up, there was damage to his hip, literal damage. So it's like I always think about that dream that Dante, because of the faith I had, Dante didn't die in the dream. I wouldn't let him die. And then he made it through that battle that was going on over in Iraq as well. But I knew that if Dante had died in the dream, Dante was going to be dead in the natural realm for real. I knew that instinctively.
You said you knew this instinctively?
I mean, when I woke up,
Uh-huh.
you know, and it's like, you know how you be hearing stuff in your head,
You hearing stuff where?
you know, yeah. But it's like if you had lost in the in that realm, if you had lost, you would have lost your son in the physical realm as well. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't lose. You know, Dante still, he made it through that battle and he came on home with the people shooting at him and everything. And he came home. But is that, I mean, I'm asking because of what Jacob went through, you know, the wrestling. He's wrestling in his sleep, if you will. But when he woke, he actually had something wrong with the hollow of his thigh.
Okay. I believe I understand your question. You're asking is those two instances similar?
Correct.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Because it happened while he was sleeping, but when he woke up, something was actually wrong. His hip was actually out of joint. But it didn't happen when he was awake. It happened while he was asleep. So with my dream, the almost death of Dante, it happened in the dream. But when I was awake, Dante and they were having an actual firefight. During the time that I was having this dream, they were having a firefight. I didn't know that though until Dante got home. But they were having a firefight. So we made it through the dream, and then Dante made it. He made it through that thing in the natural realm. But if I had lost, I just knew if I had lost in that, if I had let him stay dead in that realm, he would have been dead in the physical. I know that. Don't ask me how. I just know that.
I mean, but I have to ask how though.
Because that's the message that I got. If you had lost, if you hadn't believed in that dream world, your son wouldn't have made it. He wouldn't have made it through that.
Okay. What I would do, or what I will do, is I will go to the men above me, and I will talk to them and get some clarity. I refuse to even attempt to touch on that because I've never been asked anything like that or given a scenario like that. And again, I refuse to teach on something that I, you know what I'm saying, have not been taught on myself yet. So I'll definitely look into that for you though, for sure. All right.
So like you said, what is the school stance on deja vu and like having premonitionary dreams?
Well, that premonition shit is like, what you talking about, like Final Destination?
No, like, okay, I'll give you one for a personal example. I had a dream before I had joined East House military of being in a certain spot, and then when I got there, I was like, okay, I had this dream before, where like you have a dream before it happens, and then you get there, and then you recognize it. No particular events was, transpired where I was able to, to do like a fortune telling or anything. It's just I recognized, the place I was in because I had that dream before, like a premonition like that.
Okay, so I know. I want to, if I remember right, this question was asked in the General Muhammad class, and the scripture that he pulled was in Ecclesiastes. Is it Ecclesiastes? There's no remembrance of former things. You know what I mean? So just because something feels familiar doesn't necessarily mean that it is familiar. You get what I'm saying? So I've never heard anyone in the school ever use the word premonition, or we go off of premonition. You know what I mean? If a brother has a vision, then usually what he does is, you know what I'm saying, he will relay that vision to a lot of times either a general or a captain, and then they'll let him know, you know what I'm saying, if that's something that's of substance, or if that was just you just kind of wandering off in your head, and you know what I mean, just one of them kind of things. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to a premonition, like that almost sounds like some witchcraft. Like no, not like more like not witchcraft. Well, I guess it's kind of the same thing, but like more along the lines of like fortune telling and witchcraft. Right. So I definitely would not, you know what I'm saying, I know we do not, you know what I'm saying, support, anything that has anything to do with premonitions or witchcraft or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, can people study that and do it? Yeah, but it's a sin against the Lord. That's why the so-called Haitians be going through the thing that they going through, because all that voodoo and black magic and all that mess that they be messing with. You get my point? So it's definitely against the spirit of the Lord for sure.
Okay, kind.
Shalom.
I was gonna say as well. Captain Cesario broke down dreams and visions and all that stuff in fine detail on Cross the Line one day about a couple months back. I'm gonna find it and I'll post it and put it in our group chat. But what he basically said about the dreams is like, if you don't mind,
get down.
What he basically said about the dreams is like, the same way you daydream, it's the same exact thing when you actually dream. You know what I'm saying? When you just sitting there daydreaming in class or something like that, you're thinking your mind can just wander, whether it be because something you went through in that day, whether it be because this is what your mind is always focused on. So when you fall asleep, because you're not conscious, you dream in better and more detail. You see what I'm saying?
So what you thought of in the daytime carries over to nighttime sometimes.
And whatever your mind might be focused on and concerned about in that particular moment, that is exactly what can translate into the dream, which is why dreams can be so random or can seem so significant. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, he basically said, like, the Lord can send you see what I'm saying, some type of vision or message, which is why it's important that if you think you had a dream that really had that much significance, that it's important that you go to General Hungry, get your dreams.
Exactly.
What's the word?
Have them interpreted for you.
Yeah, interpreted.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
He could tell you if you just a nut and you just someone
just have some random ass dream, or if it's something of worth substance.
Or something that of actual importance. You know,
right?
He's gonna tell you the difference. That's basically the breakdown that he gave in full detail on dreams. You know what? I'll find that and I'll clip it as well. Maybe I'll post it up on our page.
What I do know for sure, like if the scripture says there's no remembrance of former things, and I mean that's pretty much this. Don't get no more black and white than that. You know what I mean? And at some point in time, we all will, at some point, either will go somewhere or have been somewhere like, damn, this place feels so familiar, like I've been here before. I mean, that's just human nature. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I feel like I've met you before. Ain't never seen that person a day in your life, but you've convinced yourself that you recognize or remember this person from somewhere. You get my point? But just because you think it, don't mean that's actually what it is. You get what I'm saying? Because I didn't have you know what I'm saying, thoughts of going to the goddamn casino and my roulette numbers hitting, and I walk out of there with large stacks of cash and then check my goddamn account and my account's in the negative. So I know that's just me and my crazy ass head just imagining some shit. You get my point? Come on with it.
I was gonna say as well, like it can be as simple as, you know, our minds can remember things from when we was real little, or
definitely
things that might have been so brief that we just never think about it again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you might see a person on one of your trips. You might be driving somewhere, and then you know what I'm saying. You see somebody. You might even see somebody that resembles somebody else.
Right.
And then you meet them a couple months later. You like, I've seen this person before. This is deja vu. Like I know this person before. Where the reality is, some niggas look alike. You know what I'm saying? And your brain just makes you believe that you've seen this person at some point in time. You see what I'm saying? But this is like, I don't want to disrespect the thought of it too much. But it's a lot of superstition that goes into that.
Do you know why? You know why? You know what I'm saying? One of the reasons why, you know what I'm saying, we're so much against drugs and why we push in these classes, why it is that we don't use drugs. You understand? And why we the proof that it's witchcraft is because think about how mind-altering drugs can be.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You got people that'll be so high on some shit, they'll literally try to eat their own flesh. You get what I'm saying? You got people that's actually stabbed themselves because they're convinced that it's a goddamn spider crawling on them, and there's nothing there, but yet you've convinced yourself that that's exactly what the hell is going on. You get my point? It's no different. Like you said, damn, I know I seen that person before. You ain't this nigga looking at you like, nigga, if you don't get the fuck up out my face, because nigga, I don't know you type shit. You know what I'm saying? But you convincing yourself, you know what I mean? Because our mind is a battlefield. You get my point? And this is why this is why we have to be so careful with the things that we do, the people that we surround ourselves with, the things that we watch, the things that we listen to. Because if you're not mentally or spiritually strong enough, you'll start to what's what I'm looking for? You'll start to find yourself picking up the habits of those people that you're around. You'll find yourself starting to be like the people that you listen to on the radio, or trying to be like the females that you see on TV, or whatever the case may be, because your mind will convince you, because you didn't seen something so many times, that has to be the right way. That's why they pushing all this homosexuality on it, to the point to where it can't be nothing wrong with it. That's why it's all on TV. That's why it's on the radio. That's why it's in all the movies. So it must not be nothing wrong with it. And you'll convince yourself of that. No different than if you on the freeway, right? You're not hungry. You get on the freeway, and from the time you get on the freeway to the time you get off the freeway, you done seen 10 goddamn Carl Jr. billboards. You know what you gonna want when you get off the freeway? Whatever's on that goddamn Carl Jr. billboard. Right. You get my point? Because it's all up in here. You get what I'm saying? You want to ask something else?
I was gonna say that's why, I remember listening to Joe Muhammad, and he basically likens all that stuff to Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get so caught up in our own brain.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's if I could, that's why it's important that we can control our flesh, and we gotta know what's important. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
We get so caught up in our own mind
mm-hmm.
that we start looking at those things like that's what's important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've done this before. I've been here before. I've seen him before. You see what I'm saying? Or I've had this conversation before. Anything like that, when it's all in your head. You know what I'm saying? And if it was something that's really outside of your head, then you're gonna know for sure. Like, Lord will let you know for sure that this is some type of vision. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the reason, like you said, is like that in Christianity, because it takes all of those things takes us away from what we're actually supposed to be doing, which is waking up our people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, anything that doesn't have anything to do with how you can stop somebody else from smoking crack or stop another system from being an or anything like that, you might as well jack this to be Christianity, because it's a distraction from what it is you're actually supposed to be doing.
Right.
You see my point? But that's all I was gonna say.
Nah, and that was an excellent point that you mentioned. You get what I'm saying? Because that's the whole thing. Satan's job is to knock you off your path. He hates that we have in this class right now. Right. It absolutely drives him crazy. You understand that sisters didn't work 10, 12 hours, clocked out, you know what I'm saying, took a shower, got dressed, and came straight to class. Right. He hates that brothers is so determined to be righteous that they'll fight off the weed demon. They'll fight off the cigarette demon. You get what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, to be here. You understand? Because that's one more victory for the Most High, and that's another L for Satan, and he hates it. You get what I'm saying? And so with that understanding is how it is that we'll be able to continue to conquer, you know what I'm saying, these battles. You know what I'm saying? Because life is all about warfare. You know what I mean? So trying to convince yourself that you was here in 1900, or that you was part of the Civil War and all that shit, you fought for the North, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? While you sitting there, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure that out and trying to break that down, you taking your mind off of where it should be. Right. You know what I'm saying? Which is, teaching the younger sisters, you know what I'm saying, how to conduct themselves like women and not like some ratchet ass whore. You get what I'm saying? You teaching the women, hey man, listen, you ain't gotta wear your hair like that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta wear clothes that got your ass hanging all out, because that's unbecoming of a woman. You get what I'm saying? That's sisters' roles. You get what I'm saying? To teach these younger women. You know what I'm saying? Teach these young girls that are becoming women. You know what I'm saying? And as brothers, it's our job to go out to the youth and let them know how stupid it is to claim a set that you really don't belong to. You claiming a block that's not yours. You know what I'm saying? You selling crack to your own brother, and you destroying his household. You get what I'm saying? Come on with it.
I want to say that, and I just go right with the scripture that you pulled last week. It said, it was a book of Ecclesiastes. Paraphrasing. It said, a foolish man that hides foolishness is better than a wise man. You know what I'm saying? That hides his wisdom.
Right. We about to get into it. Yeah, we about to get. That's a perfect segue. So if no one else has any questions or comments, we actually finna get into that right now. Right. So we was talking about Ecclesiastes 41:8. All right. I don't see nothing in the chat, nothing in the class. All right, cool. So there's a reason why we're starting here. And then we're gonna drop down to 14. We're gonna get some more. Right. But let's start right there though. Ecclesiastes chapter 41 and verse 8. And again, part of this topic is, you know what I'm saying, raise your children or the world will. And then we're going to go into arrogancy, which all go hand in hand with one another. You know what I mean? The spirit of arrogance.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 41, verse 8.
Shoot it.
Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High God. For if ye increase, it shall be to your own destruction.
So I know we don't spend a lot of time on the internet or focusing on the news and the tabloids and all the other kind of nonsense, but for those who get notifications here and there, can anybody tell me the significance of this scripture and apply it to what just happened recently in the world?
It's like how recent?
Within like the last few days recent. All right, you want to take a shot?
Are you talking about like the Epstein case or whatever the pedophile case thing that's going on?
No.
Oh.
I haven't gotten any updates on that, but I mean, if you want to break it down, I mean,
because what I was getting from that verse and last couple of days, I guess some of the there's a black notebook that came forward with a bunch of these fully nude and partially nude pictures of the victims, to my understanding.
You don't
I only
say.
skimmed over it because that's just like kind of slimy. That kind of stuff kind of hurts me, but. Yeah, I thought that's where you were going with it.
No, but I mean, well, it wouldn't apply to this because Epstein's a fake Jew.
Right.
You get my point? So that's the clue right there. I can dig it. Go ahead.
It still led him to his destruction.
I mean that's yeah. No, I can dig it. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is talking about, you know what I'm saying? This says which have forsaken the law of the Most High. You get my point? But his riches, his increase is, you know what I'm saying, is to his destruction. You get my point? But that right there more so goes into the arrogance and the spirit of arrogance that's on these heathens. You get what I'm saying? I'm on about.
Would you be by any chance talking about Nick Cannon and the death of his baby?
Get a sister a hand. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You not hip to that? Yeah, you're not hip to that either, Shalimar? You know nothing about that?
I did know that. I was gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah. Where was you going?
Something that just happened like yesterday, or I think it happened earlier. Some rapper from Los Angeles got killed earlier.
No. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. I'll get into that in a second. We can touch on that in a second. You want to add something?
Salakia, so if I'm not mistaken, it's because Nick Cannon publicly denounced the Most High.
Read the scripture again, please, and it'll further drive home your point. Go ahead and read the scripture. All right, now go ahead and handle your business, Shalimar. Go ahead. All right, read that for me, please.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 41, verse 8.
Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High God. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction.
You get what I'm saying? So now understand this. For those who might not know, you know what I'm saying? If you listen to my class, you know already, because I go in on this cat on a regular. But the thing about it is, at one point in time, Nick Cannon came out and said that the Jews was black. You know what I'm saying? And at one point in time, he was rocking the fake Mitri. You know what I'm saying? He was on the surface a little bit on some pro-black to an extent, wearing a Kaepernick jersey, the whole get down, right? What ended up happening was, right, he started to catch some heat from the fake Jews and a whole bunch of other people, right? And once they messed with them riches that this scripture is talking about, once they got to threatening his riches, what did he do? He did an about face, a 180. Any term that y'all want to use, you know what I'm saying? He turned his back on the Most High. You get what I'm saying? He sold his soul for riches. You get my point? He denounced the Most High, you know what I'm saying, in pursuit of riches. Which goes to show you just how selfish this cat is, because he already had riches. You get what I'm saying? Which also goes to the greed of our so-called leaders. And again, we say so-called for a reason, because we know they're not our leaders. But society, because they got a YouTube channel, or because, you know, they got a show on MTV, they're leaders. You get my point? Or because they went to some prominent college or whatever the case may be. You get what I'm saying? Come on with it.
So he denounced the Most High in front of everybody. You know, he was back and gave the Jewish man and everything. And he never stopped to think, not one time, that everything that he has, the Most High allowed him to get it. So he was the one who did that Viacom, whatever stuff.
Right.
You know, this was his baby.
Right.
Why would the Most High not give him another baby to be even bigger than that baby?
Of course.
If he had just
stayed with the Most High, right? Just stood with the Lord and trusted in Him, right?
Yeah.
And that's how come our stance always was, this cat was never in the truth. he might have knew a little bit about it a little bit, but he was never in the truth. But what he did know is Christ is a black man and that the Jews are black. He did know that much. But knowing that does not mean that you're in the truth. That just means that you know that Christ is a black man. You get my point? But he even turned his back on that as well, though. You get what I'm saying? And so the thing about it is, right? The thing about it is that the scriptures say, for if he increase, it shall be to your destruction. And this would happen to him actually leads into the other topic when we get into the spirit of arrogance. You get what I'm saying? But this cat right here, he turned his back. What was worse than him turning his back on his people was him turning his back on the Lord. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not here to make light of the death of a child. That's not the point of this at all.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? However, for teaching purposes, the whole point that you take away from this is when you turn your back on the Lord, you understand, just know that judgment is around the corner. You get what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, I don't know how many times we've said this in the class, right? That punishment or that death sometimes is not always a physical death. You get what I'm saying? And then sometimes that death might not necessarily mean you.
Right.
So now imagine killing that man's son. You understand me? Imagine killing that man's son, and he has to live with the fact that his young boy is dead. Imagine waking up knowing, you know what I'm saying, that had you not turned your back on the Lord, your son would still be here. Can you imagine the guilt that's sitting with that cat right now? I don't feel bad for him because nobody told him to turn his back on the Lord, because that's the whole point. You get what I'm saying? You turn your back on the Lord in any way, shape, or form, you understand judgment is around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Who had the hand up first? All right? Come on with it.
I mean, you put your hand up first.
Come on with it. Whoever got to shoot it.
I was gonna say, when you said that last thing you said, like the things that you do could affect your children. You know what I'm saying? Like your children can suffer because of something you did, or vice versa. I was gonna say that's 100% biblical. Like you go to John chapter 9, I'm gonna go
The 9th chapter. Yeah, now I know where you're going.
Yeah, like where Yahushua basically healed that blind man. His disciples asked him, like, yo, like, who was the sin on? Did he sin or did his parents sin?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they understood back then that your child could 100% be cursed or destroyed.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Based off of your own actions.
Based on your actions.
Right. Which is why it's so important.
No, go ahead. No, get down.
I was gonna say, which is why it's so important that we understand that our lives are not our own lives. Like that slogan, YOLO, like it's such a disrespectful slogan to your entire generation, your entire bloodline, because you mess around and do something, you want to be on drugs, you just want to have fun, you just want to go do this, you just want to go do that. That's cool, but when you have an offspring, or you see what I'm saying, somebody that you really care about, somebody that you related to, you see what I'm saying, they could be punished just because of something that you decided to do because you refused to serve the Most High.
Right.
You know?
And that's why this brother's class was so heavy. What did he teach on? You know what I'm saying? You don't have free will.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's so funny because I've been damn near piggybacking off of y'all class the last few weeks, but that's the reality of it, though. That right there is the proof that you do not have free will. You thought that you could turn your back on the Lord and everything was going to be cool, and then look what ended up happening. You get what I'm saying? Come on with it.
So, like you said, so the flip side of that, I think, isn't it in Isaiah when the Most High declares that He is going to destroy them because of the iniquity of their father? I'm paraphrasing.
Oh, you talking about with the heathen? Yeah, most definitely.
Because
Isaiah 14 and 21. Yeah.
He kicked the birthright to the curb. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Nick Cannon was on there doing that thing. He was all choked up, but when he said that, everything was going well. They put a stunt in the baby, and it was draining the stuff. And then he says, and some kind of way he put the Most High. You know, it's like, and we were hopeful or prayerful or something. And when he said that, he said, and then the cancer, it became so aggressive, just like overnight. And all I could think about was, you think the Most High gonna let you like treat him like a yo-yo, you know?
Right. Now I got you. I see where you're going. Yep.
Talk about,
Yeah.
Praying,
Right.
But he said the cancer it just got so aggressive immediately. And I said, yeah, that's what the Most High said He was gonna do to us. It was better for us not to know than to know a certain way.
Yeah, he was praying to the Jewish God though.
Okay.
That's what he was praying to. All right.
Prime example though, direct correlation almost. Not that Nick Cannon was on his level, but King David.
Yeah.
His boy.
Yes. I was going there, but go ahead, break it down. Knock it down. Now get
I
down.
was just gonna say because I mean, although because King David's son, he at least grew up to adulthood, right? So in some level, I'm not sure. I'm
No.
actually asking. So
No.
he was killed as a child.
Yes.
Okay, then yeah. Then I'm just leaving asking that.
Because when I seen that, that's what went through my mind.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Not comparing to King David at all.
Right. No. Right.
But it reminded me of what happened with King David. You get what I'm saying? But the difference is King David. Okay. King David sinned against the Lord, right? Which is a crime, right? Nick Cannon turned his back on the Lord and never turned back. King David came back. King David knew what he did was wrong. He repented for that. You get what I'm saying? Lord still dealt with him, but look at what's written about King David, you know what I'm saying, in the New Testament. You get my point? So King David went on to, you know what I'm saying, do great things, you know what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, King David was about the Most High's work, doing the work of the Most High. This cat, on the other hand, he just completely turned his back and washed his hands of the Lord. So much to the point to where he sat there and listened to that Jewish rabbi and actually started crying, listening to the rabbi. Meanwhile, you can look at your own community and don't shed a tear. You get my point? Meanwhile, you give money to the Jewish people, and America gives the Jewish people not millions, billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. You understand me? Billions of dollars, and you give the Jewish man money. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting to read something where he did something for, I don't even know where he's from, but let's just say he's from New York. Let's just say. You know what I'm saying? I've yet to hear him go to the inner city and open up the school of Nick Cannon for, you know what I'm saying, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and donate or set aside X amount of dollars or a college fund. I'm not going to say he didn't do those things. What I am saying is, though, the reason why I don't think he did is because everybody knows about what he did for the Jewish man. Ain't nobody heard nothing about what he did for the 12 tribes. You get my point? You got your hand up?
Yeah,
Come on with it.
I was just gonna say, and, talking about what we're all paying as a whole, that we contribute to billions of dollars that are going to the so-called Jewish man, but the so-called Jewish man is, just sitting there doing nothing, just pressing play with, what is it called, Viacom or whatever, making money straight off of Nick Cannon before he found out he was an Israelite, while he was an Israelite, and then after. So, if I may, it just sounds like Nick Cannon never even got up from his hands and knees that he was already on for the Jewish man. He never really stood up in the first place.
No,
that's
the
reality of it.
And that's why, once again, I'm not making light of what happened. However, what I'm saying is, for the wages of sin is death. That's what I'm saying. You get my point? And again, that death does not always come to you directly, because I would hate to do something and the Most High kill my kids because of something that I did and have to live with that guilt and have to live with that shame. That's why, again, going back into the topic, raise your child or the world will, that responsibility is on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if your kids fall short of the glory because they didn't know no better, you know whose fault that is? That's your fault.
Right.
You understand? Shalimar, you had something?
I had two scriptures.
I see y'all, right? Come on with it.
And the point I was gonna say, that's going to show that, you know what I'm saying? Like everything that y'all saying is correct. For anybody that's sitting here watching, thinking that you being any type of what's the word? Any type of selfish or inconsiderate or what's the word they like to say nowadays, man? They love to call people insensitive. You know what I'm saying? To what Nick Cannon did. Instead of looking at this as a true teaching moment too, like this is the book of March of the 8th, verse 36. What shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul?
Boom.
I pulled that scripture just to show, like, you know the truth.
Right.
Or at least a piece of it.
He knew enough.
You know who you are.
Right.
Exactly. You know enough to stick to what you know. Because they threatened to take something from you, because the Jewish man threatened to come and take your riches or cancel water and now do all of those things. Now you sitting up here crying because they go to show that was more important to you than your own people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? When in reality, what happened to him, and like I said, it's an absolutely horrible thing what happened to his child. You see what I'm saying? But they say that what happened to him happened because of his own actions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
He actually sinned against the Lord.
Definitely.
That's why I was going to put this scripture right here.
Come on with it.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 58 and verse 1. And this is a bedrock scripture in UPK, but this is the type of people, not only to us, but this is also the type of people that this scripture applies to. You know what I'm saying? This is the book of Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Done.
Like you have the nerve to actually, first of all, you're a public figure. You see what I'm saying? Everybody knows who Nick Cannon is. Everybody know how now. Everybody love, you know what I'm saying, watching his show, his shenanigans. Whether they love him or hate him, they know exactly who he is. And you had a chance to actually show all of Israel who the Lord was.
Right.
And you turned against that. You refused to cry aloud. You didn't want to spare not. You see what I'm saying? You didn't want to lift up your voice like a trumpet. You whispered. And the moment you got threatened, you know what I'm saying? Then you just turned your back on him. Like, you know what? Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have did that. The damn Israelites. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's he sinned against the Lord, and because of what has been happening with him, because of the downtrend that he has been on, that's exactly why the ISUPK, the Commander in Honda, is here to save our people. Because we're trying to save our people from people like Nick Cannon. We're trying to save our people from experiencing things like what Nick Cannon is experiencing right now. You know what I'm saying? Nah,
real 100. Now, everything he said was on point. Get a brother a hand. That's real talk. Everything he just said is real talk. Scriptures is perfect, and even the end of verse 8, where it said, and going back to Ecclesiastes, that's why it was so perfect to start here, because it says, "For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction."
Right.
What happened? He got his show back. He started getting more money. What ended up happening? He like, I got my money now. You get what I'm saying? He wasn't worried about the Lord no more. He got his money. His Jewish daddy looked out for him. You get what I'm saying? So boom. So it ended up being his destruction. Right. You know what I'm saying? I rock.
So like you said, so I actually had a question on that, especially with comparing Nick Cannon and King David with just what happened to their sons for their transgressions. So are we supposed to should we take both of those, be able to look at both of those stories because they're both on some form of a spotlight, and look at the fact that we can still refer to the scriptures to get ourselves right? Because doesn't Nick Cannon still have that opportunity to get himself right like King David did? Because King David wasn't he got dealt with, but not directly. It was with his son.
Right.
So the same thing with Nick Cannon. And then we're supposed to look at it the same exact way, right? Like,
as long as you have breath in your lungs, you got action at coming home.
All right, kind of. Okay.
You get my point. I don't know if y'all remember General Muhammad. I said his when he went to go see his dad was passing away. I don't even want to, but he spoke on it, so I'm, just piggyback on what he shared about his own personal life. You know what I'm saying? He said he went to go see his dad, and dad had a shield on him. You get my point? But for years, his dad was against everything that he stood on. You get my point? But in the end, though, brother had a shield with him. You get my point? So there's still time up until there's no more breath in your lungs. Everybody got action at coming home. You get what I'm saying, Shalimar? I'm on about.
So, since you said that, wouldn't the precept to that be where, and forgive me, but when the workers were being paid and some came in the early morning and they were working in the vineyard and some came and the last ones came and got the same amount of money?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Of course, in the perfect scenario, everybody will wake up at the same time and everybody comes to the truth at the same time. You get my point? But the thing about it is though, Christ ain't came back yet. So everybody got action. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter that, you know what I'm saying, you've been righteous for 10 years and here come this brother and all of a sudden he got action at what you got action at, because guess what? All it takes is a pork chop sandwich and you right back on the streets again. You get my point? So what good is your 10 years? You know what I'm saying? If you can't put the cigarettes down. You know what I'm saying? What good is your 10 years if you find yourself high in the back of a strip club jacking off some goddamn where? What good is it? You get my point? So that's the reality of it. So you sitting there worried about that brother's first day, or that brother, YouTube, goddamn it. Start about it. Delayed reaction. Delayed reactions. Like the point that I'm trying to make is this. Instead of focusing on, everybody focus on this name because he got his Hebrew name and all that shit, and man, but I've been doing my thing instead of focusing on that, how about you focus on, let me make sure that I keep doing my thing So then that way, I don't lose what I've gotten because until Christ come back, ain't none of us guaranteed nothing.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? All it take is a brick to fall in the back of one of these trucks, and next thing you know, y'all niggas back trapping again. That's what you know exactly what I'm talking about. He like that nigga said he started doing like this, like shit. That nigga like, nigga, I can't, nigga. I've been falling behind trucks nigga for the last 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm messing with. I know this brother right here is as solid as they come. You know what I mean? I'm just joking with that brother. You know what I'm saying? But the point of the matter is, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to being mad that brother came in, it's supposed to be the complete opposite. So to celebrate that brother coming in, why? Because if that brother was flipping packs and he coming to the school, guess what? That's less drugs being moved on the streets. Which means what? That's fewer broken homes. And now that woman can go home. You get what I'm saying? Because for the last 6 years, she been sleeping in alleys. You know what I mean? And losing her teeth because she been, shooting up Lord knows what. And because she ain't got no slavery, she's getting that for however she can get it.
Right.
You get my point? And some of these dudes is getting it however they can get it. You get what I'm saying? But now you take these cats off the street and now there's no way to get it. So now you're forcing these cats to go home. You get what I'm saying? And you rebuilding households. Just, you know what I'm saying, by that one brother, you know what I'm saying, coming up off the street. You getting that woman off that pole and getting her out that abortion clinic, you're rebuilding your nation with you know what I'm saying, with moves like that. You get what I'm saying? Shalom.
Like I was gonna say, what you just said is really displaying the selflessness that we also to carry in this truth. You know what I'm saying? Like that selflessness is what separates the ISUPK from other fake Israelites. Mm-hmm. The fake Israelites, they gonna come in here and the only reason they want their knowledge is so they can feel better than somebody else. You see what I'm saying?
That's real talk.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They want to teach the greatest class possible for the sake of someone looking at them and saying, God damn, man, I didn't preach knowledge with Shabbat, man. That's a very smart, wise brother. You know what I'm saying? They want that glory. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
As opposed to here, we want to teach the best class possible so that we can convince as many people as possible that crack is not the way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We
right.
want to pull as many people as possible
right.
out of crack. We want to pull as many people as possible out of their depression.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? As many people as possible from being whores and from being homosexuals and whatever it is. Why? Because we actually have love for our people. You know what I'm saying? And that's what real love is. Like Drum Hyman was breaking out in that class. Like,
right.
When you could look at somebody else and have more concern for them than yourself.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? And keep on doing what you're doing for their sake. You bringing this brother in, you just hoping and praying that he have more rank than you at some point.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because then you gonna know that you did your job. You know what I'm saying?
Not,
like,
exactly.
It ain't about you. Oh yeah, that nigga, boy, he didn't raise up this many brothers and that many brothers. Like, nah, you ain't thinking about that. You thinking about, man, I don't want that nigga to get killed. I do not want the Lord to deal with that nigga. I don't want that sister to be ran through. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? I don't want her to be talked about like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's your main concern. Your main concern ain't how am I gonna be looked at?
Right.
It's more how can I use the skills that the Lord blessed me with to turn more people to Him. You know,
straight like that. I've yet to see a brother get up after teaching the class and said, "Yeah, shit, I taught the hell out that class. Well, I was killing it." Yeah, I've yet to see that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Criticism. So like,
go ahead.
I was gonna say like that's why, you know, like a lot of people that come to the truth might not even realize this when they at a young age or when they so fresh into the truth. But you say something to a brother, I can turn around and go, "Oh, that's a cold ass jacket." He gonna be like, "Oh, what's I in Christ?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They thinking that's just how we talk, when in reality, we don't want to take no goddamn glory for ourselves on anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We say most high in Christ. It might sound so brief to you. We actually saying that because the only reason I might be dressed like this today is because the Lord allowed me to be. Right. You see what I'm saying? We giving all of the honor to the Most High. You see what I'm saying? None of the honor to ourselves. And we carry that same exact thing.
Right.
In our teachings.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Shaboy, you just thought that was a powerful last passage you just talked. Oh, most high in Christ, the water. You see what I'm saying? We're not even gonna say thank you before we give credit to the Lord first. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Most high in Christ, the water. You know what I'm saying? And it's realizing those things that creates powerful priests and glorious sisters. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that I'm not nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not special or important. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember Captain Zarya broke down. I asked him a question. He basically broke it down saying like look at Moses. You know what I'm saying? Moses did all of that amazing works, and everybody knows who Moses is, but they in the truth or not with that. He's an Israelite, and he still didn't get a promised land. So who am I? You know what I'm saying? It's like when you walk every day in that mindset, that you really can be humble and make everything about your people as opposed to making it about your goddamn self. You know
Right. And everything that you're saying is actually going to go into the topic that we're going to be speaking on tonight. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get a little bit more on these scriptures in Ecclesiastes, and then we're going to jump into the other topic, which is that spirit of arrogance. You understand? And we actually going to get into that. And there's some scriptures, you know what I'm saying, where you'll be able to see what the Lord thinks about your arrogance. You get my point?
Right.
So we're going to stay in Ecclesiastes, but let's drop down to verse 14.
Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 41, verse 14.
Shoot it.
My children.
Who?
My children.
Uh-huh.
Keep discipline in peace.
Uh-huh.
For wisdom that is hid and a treasure that is not seen, what profit is in them both?
You know what I'm saying? So as a child, as you're learning, as you're growing stronger and stronger, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to lead by example as well. You're supposed to teach it to the ones under you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When they want to know what you own and why you own it and how come you not, you know what I'm saying, behind the bleachers blowing the football players and stuff like that. Okay.
I'm gonna count down.
Right. The point of the matter is why how come your skirt ain't, you know what I'm saying, this short? Or how come you not wearing nothing where everybody can see your bikini line or whatever the case may be? You want to know why? Because this is why. You know what I'm saying? My parents taught me this. You know what I'm saying? Being a whore is an ugly thing. It's embarrassing. I don't want to walk around with that slut label. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be labeled as a whore. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. Or you know what I'm saying? How come I know the new thing right now is to dress like Young and May. How come you not dressed like Young and May? Because I don't want nobody to think I'm a goddamn fag. That's why. You get my point? My parents raised me better than that. You know what I'm saying? Through these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you lead by example. You get what I'm saying? Let's get some more.
Okay. Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
A man that hideth his foolishness is better than a man that hideth his wisdom.
You get what I'm saying? How can you break that down right there? It said a man that hideth his foolishness is better than a man that hideth his wisdom. Y'all both raise your hand at the same time. I rock.
A man that's hiding his foolishness, like that foolish man is still showing that he's got a bit of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
So, and because of that, when there's his counterpart, his counterpart,
Mm-hmm.
a man who's hiding his wisdom is showing that he really doesn't have any type of wisdom, because wisdom isn't supposed to be something that you keep for yourself.
Right.
So wisdom is supposed to be something that you spread amongst your people, because when you don't, we end up in the same oppression that we in today, time and time again.
Right. Shalom.
I was gonna say, what the brother said was always great about the attitude, right?
Mm-hmm.
A man that hides his foolishness, just as an example, think about a brother that's just now coming into the truth,
Mm-hmm.
that but still believe all of those ridiculous things that he believes in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
These are foolish things.
Mm-hmm.
But he keep those things to himself
Mm-hmm.
so that he could learn something new.
Excellent.
You see what I'm saying? That's a far better brother than somebody that's out there thinking that, you know what I'm saying, believing that witchcraft or whatever. We can go down the list, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he's better than that same person.
Mm-hmm.
And then just think about somebody that has wisdom. You got a brother that knows that he's supposed to keep the commandments. You got a brother that knows that if you don't keep the commandments, he knows what awaits someone.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He got somebody that he might care about that's smoking weed every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And he don't even attempt to let them know that what they doing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody the scriptures say, like, if you don't want the wicked to turn from their wicked way, they still gonna die in their iniquity, but their blood is gonna be on your hands though.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
And that's
definitely.
far worse.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Than a fool that hides his foolishness. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? You got the power and the ability to save someone's goddamn life. You got the power and the ability to help somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and you would rather hide that
Mm-hmm.
rather than save it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? And that brother that's hiding his wisdom is also showing you that, you know what I'm saying, he's still battling his foolishness.
Right.
You get my point? All right, you had something else you want to add?
You took it.
All right,
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
let's get some more.
Verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, be shamefaced according to my word.
Be what?
Be shamefaced according to my word.
What's another word for shame face? All right.
Be humble.
Yes.
For it is not good to retain all shamefacedness, neither is it altogether approved in everything.
In other words, there's a time and place for everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But letting it be known what it is does not mean be an asshole about it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Show your wisdom. Show your skills. If you're a woman, you know what I'm saying? Show how virtuous you really are without shitting on somebody in the process. You get my point? There's a way to show that you know a little bit without making that person that you're talking to feel like they this goddamn big.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's what that's talking about there. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it.
Could you use that as a preset with I gotta paraphrase it, but where it says that where the lions and the sheep can dwell together, paraphrasing it, because at that time when you're able to be when you know the difference on when to be a lion, bold as a lion.
Oh, okay, I see where you're going. Right.
That's why we're able to dwell amongst each other.
Why?
I can
Right.
use that as a precept for
Just
that.
like you know what I'm saying, you be, you know what I'm saying, wise as a serpent is but harmless as a dove.
Right.
You get my point? So yeah, I see where you're going. Let's get some more.
Incredible Con, verse 17.
Uh-huh.
Be ashamed of whoredom before father and mother.
Read it again.
Be ashamed of whoredom before father and mother.
Uh-huh.
And of a lie before a prince and a mighty man.
And end of a lie before a prince and a mighty man. You know what I'm saying? Don't take pride in being a whore. But how do you avoid taking pride in being a whore? How do you avoid that? All right.
Well, basically, my parents teaching me and leading, raising me up in a way that I don't know, or that I do know that that's wrong in the first place, and then of course, knowing how to be shamefaced in the first place.
You own it, Shalimar.
I was gonna say, you take pride in not being a whore about it. Taking pride in the things that righteous people have taught you. You know what I'm saying? Your parents, they taught you to never be a whore. You take pride in that you'll never be shaken to what outside influence might try to convince you of. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you like somebody come to you talking about let's go out to party and let's go do this and let's just go get effed up and go crazy. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, yo, hold up. My parents taught me coming up is more important than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take pride in what my parents taught me because they were righteous people who would disapprove of this. You know what I'm saying? Having love for your goddamn parents.
Right.
As opposed to having more love for the world.
Right. Everything that y'all said is on it, but the most direct way. You know what I'm saying? It says be ashamed of whoredom, right? And the question that I asked is, you know what I'm saying, how do you avoid even having to worry about being ashamed of whoredom? The sister answered online, don't be a whore. I mean, it's really that simple. And then that way you don't have to worry about, you know what I'm saying, being proud of being one or being ashamed of being one. You know what I'm saying? To avoid all those things, how about you just not be one? How about that? You get my point? The brother said, or not to promote whoredom. He's also right as well by saying that. You get what I'm saying? But if you don't promote whoredom, then these sisters won't be so easily influenced to want to be a whore. You get my point? Which is why America has to burn, because they have something today called slut shaming, and they're actually shaming you for shaming the slut. So in other words, you could be a slut. You're wrong for calling her a slut, though. How dare you call her a slut?
Right.
You see how this world has been flipped upside down? What do they call it? Gay? Is it gay bashing? Is that how they say it?
Right.
We think.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Right. Because the point is, if you speak out against homosexuality, you're the problem. Not the homosexual that's lighting the whole city on fire. He's not the problem.
Right.
You're the problem for calling out his flaminess. You get my point? Shalimar, come on with it.
So like, if I get this reference, what you just said, they go hand in hand with what the officer was bringing out the other day too. You don't have free will. Not even in the world do you have free will.
Yeah.
You don't even got the right to have an opinion on homosexuality.
Hey, that's real talk. Yeah,
If
for
you
real.
accept it,
Right.
You're the scum of the planet.
Right.
You're the scum of the earth. You know what I'm saying? I don't sound like free will to me. That's
Nah,
not
real
like,
talk. That's an
if I'm
excellent
in this
point.
type of society, I have to be this way,
Mm-hmm.
or I have to not be accepted.
Which is funny
You know
because
what
they
I'm
also
saying?
tell you that you got freedom of freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And until it comes to slut shaming or talking about these
See what I'm
homosexuals.
saying? And think about like,
Nah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, think about that if I could too. Like, this is a literal homosexual. That's what he is. He'll call himself a homosexual. You know what I'm saying?
With
like,
pride.
With pride. It's
Yeah.
so much pride in being a homosexual nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It's almost scary.
Right.
But if you say, "Oh, that cat is a homosexual," or "That cat is, the G word," or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Then they'll look at you like, "How dare you address him as that way? What the hell am I supposed to address him now?" He called himself that. You know what I'm saying? And homosexuals nowadays, man, I'll be scrolling through Twitter, I see videos. They joke about being homosexual. They joke about they talk about themselves because of how gay they are. You know what I'm saying? It's like they joke about themselves. But if you say something about it, I would be concerned at that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That you the lowest of the low, and how dare you? You know what I'm saying?
That's a new one. The G word. I ain't never heard that one before. the G word.
I mean, I know Drew Ryan say, look, you know what I'm saying?
But we don't even know what we can say.
What the hell that, man, that's funny as hell. Come on with it, man.
If I may, but everybody is so desperate to be like us that that's literally what the alphabet boys are doing with themselves.
Right.
Where they look at like for instance, I remember growing up, it was real big where we can say nigga, we can say nigger, but anybody outside of us, y'all can't say it. And it's almost of course, as we move to the right of the timeline, I see white boys and Asians left and right. Now they're all saying it as they are one themselves. Right. But the alphabet boy community overtook that mindset to be in that position of being oppressed, as if they are being oppressed, because they're so desperate to be like us. So it's just like how we can say nigga, they can say nigga, but you can't call me a nigga, and I can't call you gay. Like it's that same thing. It's a lot.
Right. Now I understand what you're saying, and this is why, you know what I'm saying, to your point about being wise as a serpent, you know what I'm saying? What does the Bible call them?
Them? Beasts? Abominations?
That's true. Anybody else? Amanaba? That's true. That's another one. What's another one? Yes. That's it. Yeah. No. Well, that too, but the actual name, Shalimah? Yes. Sodomite. That's the Bible calls them. We need to pull it for the proof. You know what I'm saying? Because now if I'm using biblical terms, you're going to shame me because I pulled a word out the Bible to describe what the Bible is saying about you. So if I call you effeminate, which I can pull in 1 Corinthians the 6th chapter, or if I can call you a sodomite, I believe that's Deuteronomy the 23rd chapter. You know what I'm saying? I'm quoting out of the book that you say that you know and love so much, which goes to show you that they don't, because if they did, they wouldn't be homosexuals in the first place, right?
Right.
But not only that though, but it also goes to show you just how much the homosexuals and the whores and all these other beasts and abominations, how much of a joke they take this book for.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody outside of here thinks that this is a game. Because think about it. There's so many scriptures that goes against homosexuality, but yet you'll go to church every Sunday. You get what I'm saying? And they gotta have their own. They probably got like their own section in the church. Probably like, you you know how back in the day you had whites only, blacks only. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? This section over here probably say gays only. You get my point? And it probably should be like that. You understand? Because you don't want to get, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to get their fairy dust on you. You get my point? So you got to sit over there because you get fuck around and get some of that fairy dust on you. You might become a fairy. You get my point? So you got to, you see what I'm saying? So they should be over there in a corner some goddamn where. You get my point? But yet they're there every Sunday. They're there in the seats. They're there in the choir. You get what I'm saying? They're there in the on the drums, right? And then nowadays they're right there in the pool pit. You get what I'm saying? So it just fairy dust everywhere. So, but yet you believe in this book. You get what I'm saying? Come on with it, all right?
Sorry. If I may, what they're basically already doing is like basically reverse segregation, where they're segregating themselves like we should be doing in the first place, but they're doing reverse segregation. Just look at the fact that they already have their own establishments where you are not going to be labeled anything but one of them.
Right.
If you go to one of their clubs.
Right.
One of their bars.
Right.
Because you ain't going to find no straight man at no gay club or a gay bar or what have you.
Right.
They've already begun creating that, and it's only going to continue to get bigger and bigger considering the fact that, the country that we live in the first place.
Yeah, damn right. Shout them out.
I was gonna say, this reminded me. I remember a couple years back when it was all over the news that us now as we refused to serve a heathen baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you remember that. The African woman came with her baby and we refused to feed it because it's for blacks and Spanish and Americans only. You know what I'm saying? National outrage.
Right.
But let somebody establish a gay only bar. You know what I'm saying? This is a gay bar. You come here, you're a homosexual, period. You know what I'm saying? Nobody bats an eye. That's perfectly fine.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But let us establish something for blacks, Hispanics, and American Indians only. And
Yeah.
let it be something that's righteous.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, now everybody got a problem with that. That's not okay. How dare you guys not include everyone else?
Right.
We have to go over here and get all type of AIDS and gonorrhea and whatever else you might want to, scientifically prove that they get. You know what I'm saying? And that's perfectly fine.
Right.
America supports that.
Right.
Man, our enemies are devil at the Bible. So.
Damn right. The brother said they want everyone to taste the rainbow. That's funny. Sad but true. And it's a shame what they did to our rainbow too, by the way. But that's a whole nother conversation. I'm on about.
So just to piggyback off what the brothers were saying, both of them, the reason that they get so upset with us when we do something of our own, like the ISUPK and separation, is because, and again I'm paraphrasing, they know that if we disobey the Most High, He will not fight for us.
Right.
They have to keep us in a state of disobedience, thus Christmas and Easter and all that other garbage. And the Most High won't fight for us in that. And then the other thing was the what you call them? The alphabet people.
You can't. I think that's the only politically.
But they are doing this. So I saw a commercial today, and it just really tripped me out because now they got all the men in the house. And all the men in the house washing the little girls' clothes and stuff and telling me how good the Downy and the Tide is. And I'm like, well, where's the mother? What happened to the moms? I'm serious. The men are in the houses washing clothes and talking about how great the laundry detergent is.
Right.
There's not a woman in sight. And I'm like, and we're supposed to just buy this hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. Again, that's why this place has to burn. You know what I'm saying, Shalimar?
I was gonna say what sister just said, so like that just goes to show the brainwashing. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine how I always say our battle is mental. This is mental warfare. You know what I'm saying? They got, it's just unnatural to just show a bunch of men mesmerized by detergent. This is not normal. You know what I'm saying? What the hell is going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're clearly, there's something effeminate about you, which is also a sin. You see what I'm saying? Like, men not supposed to be effeminate, but that just goes to show how America is trying to erase what should be normal.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Anything that's natural, they're trying to just flip it to the other side. You know what I'm saying? Instead of women, it's natural for women to love scents and love what can make you know what I'm saying, different fabrics, so soft and all that. That's just a normal womanly thing. You know what I'm saying? Not that we trying to be tyrants to make women wash clothes. Women actually care about stuff like that because women care more about delicate things than we do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they just gonna try to erase the entire narrative of that and just make it to where, oh, just put some men in the commercial, just mesmerized by Dawn and you know, the soap powder.
Right.
Or whatever the case is, it's like said no nigga ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No nigga in the history of nigga have ever been mesmerized by soap. We walk in and buy you know what I'm saying? We walking in by we buy the cheapest detergent.
Whatever's on sale.
You see what I'm
It doesn't
saying?
matter.
As long as it get clean, that's all right.
That's all that
But
matters.
that's why we need our sisters though to play their role. Because we need our women to know, like, yo, nah, that's gonna tear your stuff up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But this right here, this is valid. This is the good stuff though. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? I could care less.
Right.
As long as it's clean afterwards, like that's goes to show that our enemy is the devil that the Bible speaks of, and they're gonna do whatever the hell they can do to confuse us further.
Yeah.
To make us as effeminate as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Modern day Babylon. Come on with that, Monabar.
Last thing is, with all of the homosexuality and stuff coming out, and you know, people always talking about, oh, and our great forefathers, you know, George Washington and all them freaky people. But this homosexuality that's coming out, like it's coming out, it is allowing the entire world to see the absolute foundation of America, because the foundation is homosexual.
Definitely.
It always has
That's
been.
an excellent point.
And they were trying to keep it covered up.
Right.
Because the same Romans
Mm-hmm.
that were chasing us,
Mm-hmm.
are the same Romans that put this place together.
Right. No, that's an excellent point. You know what I mean? And with the brother, you know what I'm saying, what you just dropped was super ridiculous heavy. You know what I'm saying? But to the brother's point and what y'all was saying, you know, it's disgraceful how hard they're working and trying to feminize our black men.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that brother said, there's never been a time where niggas went down the laundry soap aisle and said, let's find the one that smells the best. You know what I'm saying? Which one makes your clothes wrinkle free? You understand? Let's get that one. No, nigga, that's why women do not send men to the store to go buy laundry soap in the first place.
Right.
Because we'll go in the one that, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna go get the one that's on sale. That motherfucker might just say detergent on it. You understand? That shit just say bleach, nigga. I'm grabbing that so I can get in and get the hell out.
Right.
You understand me? Nigga might have patches of different shit all over the shirt. Hey, nigga, I put in the laundry machine. Nigga, I did my part. You get what I'm saying? Like, nigga, it's nothing. Nigga, fuck around and have holes all in his drawers because he done bought some bullshit at the tournament. Like, hey, that's why you got your lane and I got mine. You understand? Boom. It's that simple. That's why you understand a man. That's why a man stays in his lane. You understand me? A woman stays in her lane. You understand?
Right.
A nigga will go out there, you know what I mean, and go to the plantation and go work hard and do what he has to do to raise his nation up. The sister goes to the store and goes and gets the laundry soap. You get what I'm saying? And puts all the little girly little shit that they put in it. You get what I'm saying? Otherwise, there'll be nothing but white shit all over the goddamn house. White toilet paper, white paper towel, because we don't give a damn about the fancy little that potpourri bullshit. We don't give a damn about none of that. We just gonna go buy an air freshener. That's that. All these different, let's get this. And nobody give a, man, listen, man, we don't care.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? This is again, but so you understand? So we gotta be smart enough, man, to see the brainwashing in the attempt of programming that they trying to do, and we gotta be smarter than them. You get what I'm saying? A man is supposed to be a man and a woman is supposed to be a woman. You know what I mean? And that's why, you know what I'm saying, Brock, I tell you why y'all was shot for this school for teaching us, you know what I'm saying, how to remain men, you know what I'm saying, despite the propaganda that's being pushed on us at a ridiculous level. And the closer that we get to these so-called holidays, the harder they gonna go, you know what I'm saying, with the propaganda and the brainwashing. Come on with it.
I was gonna say, like, if I could real quick.
Uh-huh.
And what you said was so important, you know what I'm saying? Because our women, they hear that, oh, you know, see, listen to what they said. They said that it's been pretty much a woman's role to wash clothes. You know what I'm saying? They hear something like that.
Right.
When that's not even the point. The point is, like, there are certain things that's natural for a woman, like smelling fragrances and knowing high quality cleaning products. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't give a damn about none of that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But the fact that a woman cares about those things is going to make everyone else's lives easier.
Let me tell you
You know
something,
what I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah, no, that's real talk.
Go ahead.
me tell you something, man. I'm gonna go get a big ass spray bottle. I'm gonna go get some awesome. I'm gonna get some bleach. I'm gonna mix them hoes together, and I'm gonna get to cleaning some shit. Done. You get what I'm saying?
You see them arguing all goddamn
Like,
day.
nigga, I don't care about none of that. Nigga, open the windows so I don't choke nobody out. You get what I'm saying?
You see what I'm
You
saying?
don't clean this shit. You understand? And that's that. You get my
Like-
point? That like so to your point. Like, it's not about using the women or saying, oh, you women, y'all have to do this, and this. You get what I'm saying? It's the same way that we're not gonna have the women going out there chasing rats. Although some of y'all are. Okay, never mind. The point is, you know what I'm saying? We'll do that.
Right.
If there's a bug on the wall, we'll go kill the bug. We're not gonna say, hey, babe, hey, somebody trying to come through the window. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna expect us to do that, right? Well, go get the goddamn laundry soap and wash the clothes. I mean, that's how you eliminate all the. If you want it done right, you understand? Do your thing, and that's how you deal with that. You want to add some more?
I was gonna say like what you just said.
All right, let me get Ecclesiastes 22:3. Go
Like,
ahead.
last thing, like what you just said was so powerful. I never forget when Captain Cotton's was talking to G-Man. You know what I'm saying? G-Man was doing this whole, yeah, you guys supposed to be partners and mutual and this and all of that and equality and all of this effeminate gay stuff that no man in the history of man has ever even fixed his lips to say. You know what I'm saying? Captain Cotton's kind of with a simple sentence. He was like, yo, so you mean to tell me somebody, like you just said, somebody breaks in the house at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? He's probably just downstairs. You guys are partners. You finna tell her, all right, baby, it's time to talk about this. Let's team up.
Right.
I'm gonna go this way. You gonna go that way.
I go high, you go low.
You see what I'm saying? No. You see what I'm saying? This is your responsibility. Now it's time for you to be a man and go handle whatever sound that just was. So you're not gonna send your women like with a baby, you always your turn tonight. You see what I'm saying? Like, well, you see it on TV nowadays, but like, you're not gonna be like, what's that downstairs? Oh, sis, it's your turn.
Right.
I'm gonna send her down there with no bats to find out what's going on. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But we don't have no problem with that part of a man being a man.
Right.
But when it comes to a woman being a woman for whatever effeminate thing might be, because like you said, we grab some bleach, we fuck around. So like, we mess around, mix the bleach and the pine saw just to. It's like mopping the floor with it.
Get that shit clean though.
It's gonna be clean. You don't walk in, the carpet gonna be bleached and stained and clean though.
It's clean.
You know what I'm saying? That's not my forte. My forte is war and protection and correcting and all of those things.
You want this shit clean or what? Done.
Simple.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it, that's how come you know that the G and G man stands for gay. You understand? Exactly. He's gay. That's why he believes in that. You see what I'm saying? All right, you got that?
Yeah, kind of what so you said 22 and 3, correct?
Please.
Yeah, kind of the book. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 22, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
An evil nurtured man is the dishonor of his father that begot him, and a foolish daughter is born to his loss.
Let's get some more.
Verse 4. A wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband, but she that liveth dishonestly is her father's heaviness.
Please read that part again.
But she that liveth dishonestly is her father's heaviness.
You see what I'm saying? Let's start at the top. It says, a wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband. A wise daughter. You know what I'm saying? How does a daughter become wise? You understand? By being raised up, though. In order for her to gain that wisdom, though, she has to get it from her parents. You get my point? That's why, again, so we can make this whole class and push the issue to the youth. Like, hey, listen, man, as kids, you're supposed to be like this, and this. But the foundation starts at home with parents. You get my point? It's up to us as parents. We can't worry about being their friends. We can't worry about being buddy. We can't worry about hurting no feelings. We can't worry about none of that. Because if we worried about hurting feelings, if we worried about embarrassment, if we worried about any of those things, then we're not doing our job. You get my point? If you need to tell your son that he's acting like a fag, then goddamn it, you tell him that. If that's what he need to hear. You know what I'm saying? If you need to tell your daughter, hey, you looking a little hoish today, hey, so be it. You know what I'm saying? Just take it on the chin, and that's that. Or you can just not wear anything that make yourself look like a whore. You get what I'm saying? If you a dude, you know what I'm saying? Stop standing a certain way to make yourself look like a fag. Stop saying certain things to make you look like a sodomite. Let me say the biblical word. Don't do those things. You get my point? That's how you avoid it. If you stand there, if you a dude and you stand there and you trying to stick your chest out, but yet you got your hands on your hips, you know what I'm saying? Or you got that pose like a female. Nigga, you looking like a sodomite right now, dude. And I'm gonna tell you that, hey man, you looking a little. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you need to hear. So be it. But if you want to avoid being told that, how about you not do that? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So when it comes to correction, you know what I'm saying? It's your responsibility to, in the spirit of brotherhood and the spirit of sisterhood, it's your job to correct. Listen, man, if a brother talking to you, you know what I'm saying, and the brother older, a little strong, you know what I'm saying, you don't front him, of course. You put that brother to the side. Hey, man, I noticed, ain't need some scope or something like that, man. I got some of these Tic Tacs or something like that. Hey, let me like, you been having a few drinks, man. Let me slide you some of these real quick, man. I'll do it on the low. You know what I'm saying? And it's all good. You know what I mean? But don't let the brother come up to you and he talking to you and say, hey, man, I'm checking out that chick over there, man. What you think? Yeah, brother, go get her. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't knock their goddamn nose hairs out because you sitting there, you understand me? And you just, like, nah, you don't do that. That's unbrotherly. You get what I'm saying? Same thing with you sisters, you know what I'm saying? If y'all finna go kick it, you know what I'm saying? And the daughter come out the house, you know what I'm saying? And she 260, and I'm not dissing nobody that's 260, you get what I'm saying? But she come out the house and she got on a shirt that's way up here. You damn girl, you killing it today, girl. You cute. Ah, bitch, get your fat ass in the house, you understand, and cover your ass up. That's what you do. Cut the shit. You get what I'm saying? Don't be like that, man. That's the spirit of sisterhood, man. You're a little heavy, you're a little on the plus side, you shouldn't be wearing that. You get what I'm saying? That's how that's being sisterly. You get what I'm saying? Hey, you might want to cover them up a little bit. You looking like a victim right now. You looking like, you know what I'm saying? You giving yourself a target to get shot on. I mean, I'm just saying though, like you got to, as a man, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? As a man, you tell your men certain things. As a woman, you tell your women certain things, and that's brotherhood. That's being brotherly. You get what I'm saying? But if you're a parent and you let your son walk around as effeminate as he wants to be, you're not doing your job. If you're a parent and you let your daughter walk around and she's looking like she's been ran through by the whole goddamn block, you're not doing your job.
Right.
This is not a buddy thing. You understand? If I want to holler at my friend, I want to shoot the shit with my friends, I'll call my brothers. You get what I'm saying? But when it comes to the kids, you got to correct them accordingly. You know what I'm saying? And how do you avoid correction? Don't do anything to where you have to get corrected. That's how you avoid all that. You get what I'm saying? Who had the hand up over here?
You pretty much said at the end, like you said, like that's brotherhood.
That's
You know what I'm
brotherhood.
saying? Like you don't have love for whatever individual you're talking to. You gonna let them, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, they might just got to eat some a burger with onions in it or something. They bread something like onions. You gonna let them walk into the function or the party or whatever,
Man.
and they bread is on fire. You know what I'm saying? Or it's a sister over here, and she thinking she cute, or she might even think she look like you. You know what I'm saying? She coming out with the what you say the crop top shirt or whatever it is way up here. It's like what are you doing? Take that off out of love. No, you see what I'm saying? You're not saying this to put her down. You're not saying that to put him down. Like, nigga, your breath stank, nigga. This is how I be talking. This one like he
Right.
You actually saying that out of concern, like yo,
Right.
bro, like you been eyeing that sister all day. Do not go over there like that, bro. Let me help you real quick.
Right.
Hey, sister,
Yeah.
you look at that brother all day. You know what I'm saying? Don't go over there like this. Let me help you real quick. Be more humble than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's love at the end of the day, and it's showing that you actually care about your people. And sometimes having those awkward conversations with somebody,
it's a necessary thing, man.
It's righteous.
Listen, man, slide that nigga some juicy fruit and keep it pushing.
You see what I'm saying?
You understand?
Like,
Ain't no.
So like, and I'm gonna hit it on this. And you'll be unrighteous.
Right? No, real.
Use it to have that awkward conversation.
Nah, for real.
You see what I'm saying? Because at that point, you putting your own concerns above what you can help them.
Exactly. Nah. Exactly. All right.
If I may, at the end of the day, these are things that are easily fixed as well.
Yes.
So yeah, you still deemed as being, unbrotherly or just, being a hater or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like what you're saying.
Right.
You can do this under the come on, sis, cover up a little bit.
Right.
Here, take. Everybody take a piece of gum. You know what I'm saying? That way,
Boom.
nobody being put on the spot.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? But yet, people will still feel a type of way. Like, man, why are you coming at me like that?
And that's an excellent point that you mentioned, right? But the reason why it's taken like that is because this society has taught us to be extra sensitive.
And if I made it add on to that though as well, but we real quick that when we put on that spot, all of a sudden we get real, when we feel personal, then all of a sudden, oh, that's why you cockeyed. That's why you got a cleft lip.
Yeah.
That's why you bold.
All the defensiveness come out.
Things
Yeah.
you can't even fix.
Right.
I'm just trying to help you with
Right.
something that you
You
can
can
fix.
fix.
And you man, because I pulled a spot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah.
Yeah. Cause I'm gonna tell you, you sisters can put lotion on your own feet. I'm sorry. That's something that you can fix. You understand? You might not be able to fix that cleft. You might not be able to do nothing about that. You might not be able to fix that gap because that shit is expensive. I understand. You know what I mean? But you can take care of them knuckles though. You get what I'm saying? But that's all love though. You get what I'm saying? And you shouldn't take it as no other way. If you look like a boy and you a girl, like, nigga, that's a problem. You get what I'm saying? Like, nigga, what you trying to be young and May around? Like, what's happening? You see what I'm saying? Come on with I'm on about.
I remember one time I was with my father and these sisters were walking and it was not appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
One size does not fit all.
Got that right.
Appropriate.
Man.
And my dad said, "Damn, they don't have no mirrors or no frames."
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
I said, "Daddy, what you mean?" He said, "Because the mirror would have let them see what they look like, and the frame would have told them not to go out the doors with those clothes."
I mean, I'm just saying, hey, listen, man, you know what I'm saying? Your father was a wise man, because I'm gonna tell you something, listen, man. But again, going full circle, if we go back to the beginning of the class, you know what I'm saying? Our minds will convince us of things that's not really there. You understand? You're not a size 2. It's okay though, but that's okay though. There's a brother out there that will love you anyway. You understand? Size 22 and all. It's okay. You get my point? That's all right. You know what I'm saying? You listen, man. That's all in you know what I'm saying, the spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood. But the thing about it though, it says, she that is bold dishonoreth her father, right? And to completely understand what it's talking about, because see, some people will read that word bold and will misunderstand. But there's a definition for the word bold that makes this scripture make so much sense. All right, let me grab it real quick. Let's see something. Let's look up bold. All right, check this out. Give me 1 second. So this is the one right here. This is the definition that you want for bold when it comes to this scripture, right? It says, of a person or manner. This is bold from the Oxford Language Dictionary. It says, of a person or manner so confident as to suggest a lack of shame or modesty. You see what I'm saying? It's not talking about when you bold letters. No, that's not what it's talking about in this scripture where it says, she that is bold dishonoreth both her father and husband. This is the definition that applies to this scripture. I'm going to read it again. It says, of a person or manner so confident as to suggest a lack of shame or modesty. You see what I'm saying? A woman, a daughter that has no shame or modesty, she embarrasses her father. You know what I'm saying? A woman that has no shame or modesty, she embarrasses her husband. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to the gym, right, and you see a couple walking in there, right? Cat in there, he ready to get his workout on, you know what I'm saying? And his girl come in there, and she got on like the smallest, tightest shorts that she could fit in, and she got that crop top on, and she ready to work out. And it's like you just dishonored and shamed your father and your husband all at the same time. You get my point? That's the bold that this scripture is talking about. It don't mean be bold like, you know what I'm saying, you were scared to say something, but yet you said something anyway. Not that kind of bold. The bold is, you know what I'm saying, the when you bring shame or dishonor. You understand? I'm on about.
So the stripper pole. The girl is so bold on the stripper pole because she makes all her own money.
Right. Exactly.
Shaming her father.
She's shaming her father and her husband's. You understand?
Right.
Just saying though. Shalom.
I was gonna say, this how you know that the Bible is 100% true. Brother say that nowadays. You see a disgusting sister walking around or something like that. She might be attractive. You see what I'm saying? But she's just walking around in a dishonorable way. She's wearing something completely revealing and ridiculous. Right. And brothers be saying to each other, like, oh, I know her daddy is ashamed to
real talk.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they be clowning this. I know her daddy is ashamed to see her. You know what I'm saying? Or brothers be saying stuff like, oh, you go and you cheat on me. The only person you disappoint is your father. Right. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing like stuff like brothers saying stuff like that. Like, I just go to show you how true the Bible is. Yeah. It's talking about what you as a daughter is gonna do and the reaction you're gonna get in a particular society. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, this is the reaction that you're gonna get if you live this way. Right. This is the reaction you're gonna get if you live that way.
Straight like that. How many times have we been to camp, you know what I'm saying, and some loudmouth sister with a little or nothing and walked into the camp, and the first thing the brother asks is, where's your husband at? You get what I'm saying? Because we're not focused on what you got on like that. Not in that way. You know what I'm saying? We're like, damn, because we're paying attention to the shame and the dishonor that you're bringing to that man. The fact that you even stepped to a bunch of men, mind you, and you running your mouth the way you are, and you looking the way you are, you get what I'm saying? That is a lack of shame face. You get what I'm saying? So that's it on that. You know what I mean? If you don't want as parents, if you don't want the world to raise your children, you better raise them yourself. And if you don't, you know what I'm saying, you have nobody to blame but yourself for how they turn out. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a daughter, you know what I'm saying, who's a daughter on the outside but thinks she's your son on the inside, that's your fault. You know what I mean? If you're a parent and you have a son who thinks he's your daughter on the inside, that's your fault. You're not doing your job. You know what I mean? Pull them goddamn kids to the side and let them know what they doing is foul, what they thinking is foul, and what they just said was foul. You understand? And I come from the era to where if they don't want to listen to you, go upside their head. You know what I'm saying? That's the era that I come from. I know nowadays, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers ready to call CPS on you. Hey, listen, you're gonna be calling CPS. You understand? Because that's the era I come from. You know what I mean? But we're gonna transition. We won't have a whole lot of time left, so we're going to carry this over to next week's class. But I do want to get into arrogance in the spirit of being arrogant. You know what I'm saying? In the consequences of that spirit of being arrogant. All right. So first, we're gonna start with Numbers chapter 20 and verse 2. Book of Numbers chapter 20 and verse 2, and then you're gonna read verse 2 and then drop down to verse 4. All right.
This is the book of Numbers chapter 20 and verse 2.
Shoot it.
And there was no water for the congregation.
Uh-huh.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron.
You know what I'm saying? That's us once again. You know what I mean? Actually, let's get some more. You'll see what I'm talking about. Drop down to verse 4.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
And why have ye brought up the congregation of the Lord into this wilderness?
Uh-huh.
That we and our cattle should die there?
Uh-huh. What that sound like right there? Just that one verse right there. What you hear? Shalimah?
So I heard people being smart. Like, what the hell you even bring us here for? This so we can die? Like they questioning Moses and his actions.
What else are they doing? You're right. What else are they doing?
They showing lack of faith in the Lord.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? And then they doing what we do, which is complain. All the goddamn, that's all we know how to do. Despite everything that Moses did through the spirit of the Most High, of course, still complain, no matter what. Let's get some more.
Verse 5.
Uh-huh.
And wherefore have ye made us to come out of Egypt?
Uh-huh.
To bring us in unto this evil place?
Uh-huh.
It is no place of seed, or figs, or of vines, or of pomegranate. Neither is there any water to drink.
You see what I'm saying? More complaining, more whining, more crying. They trying to get back to Egypt.
Right.
The same way niggas is today when we tell them to put the weed down.
Right.
The same way niggas is today when you tell them to put the pork down. Well, I can't have no pork. This is America. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Let's get some more.
Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Uh-huh.
And they fell upon their faces.
Uh-huh.
And the glory of the Lord appeared unto them.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the rod and gather thou the assembly together.
Uh-huh.
Thou and Aaron and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes. And it shall give forth his water. And thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and their beasts drink.
You understand? The Lord finna shut them up, right?
Right.
Let's get some more.
Verse 9.
Uh-huh.
And Moses took the rod from before the Lord, as he commanded him.
Uh-huh.
And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock. And he said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels.
Hear now what?
Ye rebels.
Uh-huh.
Must we fetch you water out of this? Must we fetch you water out of this rock?
Read that part again.
Must we fetch you water out of this rock?
Uh-huh.
And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice.
Uh-huh.
And the water came out abundantly.
Uh-huh.
And the congregation drank, and their beasts also.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, because ye believed me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel. Therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them.
What is the moral of everything that we just read right now? Shalimar.
Follow orders to the T. Like Moses had the nerve. Moses was so like you also say, don't be emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like Moses was so emotional that he didn't even follow the exact word that the Lord gave him. The Lord told him, walk up to this rock. You see what I'm saying? Give honor to me, and I'm gonna be the one to give these people, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Their water. And if he did that, then the people would have realized, okay, the Lord is with us.
Right.
Maybe I'm tripping.
Right.
But he was so frustrated that they came at him the way they did that he came at them. Oh, yeah, you rebels! Must me and Aaron give y'all water? Well, fine then. He hit the right twice,
Mhm.
and then doing that, he basically took the glory for himself. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
basically, the underlying point is
Mhm.
when you get an order, you know what I'm saying, or you're told to do something, or you're taught something.
Mhm.
Follow that order to the T. Teach that thing to the T. Don't try to go off on your own way. You see what I'm saying? Because you basically showing your arrogance. You know, you showing you being emotional and you leading other people astray because you wasn't disciplined enough, basically.
Right. That last part drove home the point. All right.
I was just gonna say, pay attention to detail, because there's like, if I may, when I was reading through the Old Testament before I had came into the truth, that was something that I looked over like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then coming into the truth where, while reading, we really emphasize while you read to pay attention to every single word, pay attention to detail with your orders. You understand? And also what is written. When you understand that small little thing that I had overlooked would have been overlooked at that time,
right.
And I would have understood that, now or then, like I do now. And of course, a similar thing would have been for Moses and Aaron at that time, with the fact that the Most High God would have said what He said to them had he had paid attention to every small detail. Because of course, all of these acts wasn't for the glory for themselves,
right.
But it was all to show the power of the Most High God, and that is to be shown to our children,
right.
So that with the future generations after Moses and them that was there with the tapping on the rock, we all spoke on, we would speak on, hey. The Most High God used Moses to tap on the rock to get, to quench all of our thirst.
Right.
Now, because that wasn't so, anything could come out of that story essentially, which is basically with how a lot of the things have begotten, after the word.
Right. And how you sum all that up is, you know what I'm saying, because of Moses' arrogance, the focus became more about him and less on the fact that the Lord allowed for this brother to hit a rock with a goddamn rod and produce abundance of water.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to be focusing on as you be like, damn, like you're supposed to lock in on that and like, damn, the Lord is amazing. Like there's no another word that you can think of because like, damn, He made water come out of the rocks. Like if you just think about that, I mean, that's something that only the Most High can make happen. You get my point? In you know what I'm saying? Moses dropped the ball. You get my point in going into the topic of the class. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you allow that spirit of arrogance to come upon you. That's why, like the brother was saying earlier, you understand when we teach these classes, when we at camp, when we do the things that we do, you understand, we thank the Lord because we know at the end of the day we're nothing but vessels that can be replaced like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These classes that are being taught through the Spirit of the Most High in Christ. You know what I'm saying? You can read this book all day long, but without that Holy Spirit, you're not going to understand anything. You get what I'm saying? Let's get a couple more, then we're going to close the class. I know we're coming up on the time, all right? Let's get 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Talk no more so exceeding proudly.
Uh-huh.
Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth.
Read that again.
Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth.
Uh-huh.
For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by Him actions are weighed.
Meaning what? All right.
The Lord ain't worried about what you say; He worried about what you do.
Not just that. You're right. Not just that though. It says, "For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by Him actions are weighed." In other words, you know what I'm saying. Your knowledge comes from the Lord.
Right.
You get my point. What you said is correct as well. You know what I'm saying. It's one thing to say something, but it's a whole other thing to do it. So if you're teaching how not to be arrogant, but yet every chance you get, you showing how arrogant you are. That's what the Lord is paying attention to. He's going to focus more so on how arrogant you are than on the fact that you're teaching the class on how not to be arrogant. You get my point?
Right.
Come on with it.
So let me, sir, can a precept for this be, I just went on here. Sacrifice. Obedience over sacrifice. Paraphrasing. The Father is, he wants you to obey rather than sacrifice.
Oh yeah.
That's
Okay. Let me see.
Obedience is greater than sacrifice. Is that how I say it?
I see. I know where you're going. I wouldn't use that for this because that's more so talking about somebody that constantly sins and then goes and makes a sacrifice. You get my point? This right here is more so focused on, you know what I'm saying, arrogant, or that spirit of arrogancy. You get my point? Let's get Romans chapter 12, verse 3. Let's see what we at on time. Actually, this will be the last one. I just realized it's after 9. So we'll get this last one, and then we'll carry this over in the next week, and probably be like a pre-topic, because again, this class right here, like when it comes to the spirit of arrogancy, you know what I'm saying? This is something that our people especially need to hear. You get what I'm saying? These Christians need to hear classes like this.
right.
You get what I'm saying? Whether it's taught by me, whether I take these scriptures and teach the class itself, or whatever the case may be, these scriptures need to be brought out so that the people can know what the Lord thinks about your arrogancy and what the Lord will do with you in your arrogancy. You get my point? So let's get that real quick. Let's get Romans chapter 12, verse 3, and then we're going to end it on that, all right?
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 3.
Shoot it.
For I say, through the grace given unto me,
For the what?
for the grace, for the grace given unto me,
Uh-huh.
to every man that is among you,
Uh-huh.
not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think,
Uh-huh.
but to think soberly,
Uh-huh.
according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith.
You know what I'm saying? What does it mean to think soberly? All right.
Think clearly.
Yes.
With nothing obscuring in your mind, whether it's drugs, alcohol, what have you. I mean, it's okay to have a couple of drinks, but to have too many drinks where now all of a sudden you acting out of character, you can't even control yourself. Is, being sober is being able to, no matter what, you thinking without that drink, without whatever that substance is, you still thinking the same way.
You're right, and you missed one word. You named all those different things when I asked you what is it to think soberly?
Without Christianity?
That's true as well. Shalomah?
Basically, to think soberly basically means to be not double-minded.
Yes, but not what I'm looking for. Amarba?
To be obedient.
Yes, but not what I'm looking for. Arak?
To not think arrogantly.
That's the word I was looking for. That's how you would sum all these things up, because if you're speaking or treating others with arrogance, how could you be thinking soberly?
Right.
You get my point? Come on with it.
If I make us one way to put that is to be drunken off of pride when you're being arrogant.
Yes. It's
not sober.
Right, exactly. The scripture says not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. What does that sound like?
He's drunken off of pride.
And yes, you get my point. Again, the topic of the class, you know what I'm saying, the word that we're focusing on is that word arrogancy, or the spirit of arrogancy, or the word arrogance as a whole. You know what I'm saying? There's many more scriptures that we'll get into, Lord allow, next week to further hone the point. This is in the New Testament, so we're going to get some in the Old and some in the New. And the whole point of going old and new is to prove what? All right?
The whole Bible comes together. You can't have one without the other.
That's true. There's something else too. You're right.
So, you said the question again?
All right.
I was going to basically reword. I'm not sure.
You want to grab some from the old, and you want to grab some from the new. Why? Shalom.
That's how the Bible tells you that you're supposed to take it precept upon precept and line upon line.
That's true, but you can take all precepts from the Old Testament or all precepts from the New Testament. Amanaba?
Is it for balance?
No. Shalom.
Basically to show that the Old Testament and the New Testament are one and the same, just a different time period.
You see what I'm saying? More so to when Rock was saying earlier, the whole point is if I give you something from the new and I give you something from the old, I'm showing you that nothing's changed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No matter what. You know what I'm saying? So for you Old Testament niggas, I'm gonna hit you upside the head with these Old Testament scriptures. For you two New Testament niggas, okay, I'll hit you upside the head with these New Testament scriptures. Right. And what you're gonna take from it ultimately is no matter where you go, the lessons are gonna be the same. They might be written a little different. You get what I'm saying? But the bottom line is gonna be the same no matter what. Nothing changes from the Old to the New Testament. You get what I'm saying? We started in the Old Testament. This last scripture that we just read came out of the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? So for those who believe that the law is done away with in the New Testament is a whole different time and everything like that, you understand? We say this damn near every week. You know what I'm saying? Paul learned from the Old Testament. How come Paul knew everything that he knew? More importantly, our King learned from the Old Testament. That's how he knew everything he knew. You get what I'm saying? This is how the New Testament was written, based on the things that came from the Old Testament. That's why we start with Romans 15:4. Whatsoever things were written aforetime. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it.
So like this, so can you use the precept with that says, I am the Lord thy God and I change not?
Boom.
Okay.
With that, Pastor Claus, the preaching officer, I'll rock.
Okay. This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, shout out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister after 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to her brother or sister. If there is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment, be found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'asharah, which means 10th in the Hebrew, 10% of any penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests is not mandatory. It can be whatsoever amount you would like. Holy convocations. Make sure that you check with your respective school to find out any unholy convocations. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, men of Israel Amajin, which means to stand, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amajin Shabbat, Amajin, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. Yadamatai. Men of Israel Sar, which means to turn. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel. Majin Shabbat, Majin, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Eladab, Hashem Yahushua. With that, class dismissed.